1. Tell us about yourself and your experience as a project manager. I'm a technical project manager with a strong foundation in cultural management who successfully transitioned into the tech sector and digital transformation. I have led multidisciplinary teams across education, IT, culture, and communications using agile frameworks such as Scrum and Kanban. My experience includes serving as a Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Agile Coach, where I drove agile adoption, optimized delivery processes, and aligned outcomes with strategic goals. I'm recognized for team leadership, conflict resolution, KPI monitoring, and stakeholder communication using tools like Jira, Trello, Asana, Excel, and Power BI. 2. How do you plan and execute a project in an agile environment? I begin by aligning stakeholders on scope, goals, and success criteria. From there, I support backlog creation and prioritization, facilitate sprint planning, and lead agile ceremonies, daily stand-ups, sprint reviews, and retrospectives. I foster a collaborative environment focused on continuous delivery and adaptability. Progress is tracked through Jira and reported via Power BI or Excel dashboards, with an emphasis on velocity, lead time, and roadmap adherence. 3. Describe a significant challenge you faced leading teams and how you resolved it. At the National University of Columbia, I encountered resistance to agile methodologies. To overcome this, I developed role-specific training and launched pilot projects using Kanban and simplified Scrum practices. Within 3 months, we saw improvements in both delivery performance and team satisfaction. This experience reinforced the importance of empathy, gradual change, and hands-on learning in successful agile adoption. 4. What tools and metrics do you use to monitor your projects? I rely on Jira for task tracking, Trello or Asana for visual workflows, and Power BI Excel for reporting. Key metrics I track include velocity burndown and cumulative flowcharts, lead and cycle time, roadmap adherence, stakeholder feedback, e.g. NPS. These metrics help surface risks early and support data-driven decision-making. 5. How do you handle conflicts within your team? I cultivate psychological safety and a culture of open communication. When conflict arises, I use active listening, root cause analysis, and non-violent communication to mediate solutions. I also incorporate feedback loops in retrospectives, ensuring the team resolves issues constructively and strengthens collaboration. 6. How do you ensure the final product meets customer expectations? I involve stakeholders from the start through clear requirement gathering and definition of acceptance criteria. Regular feedback loops via sprint reviews and demos help ensure alignment. I maintain thorough documentation and proactive communication to deliver value that matches business needs. 7. How do you manage risks in a project? I maintain a living risk register, categorizing risks by impact and likelihood. For high-impact items, I define contingency plans and assign risk owners. Agile methodologies allow for frequent review and adaptation, enhancing the team's resilience in uncertain environments. 8. How do you stay current with project management and technology trends? I'm actively pursuing diplomas in strategic project management and Power BI, and I hold certifications as Scrum Master, Product Owner, Agile Coach, and am completing Google's Project Management certification. I also engage in Agile communities, attend webinars, and stay informed through courses on Udemy, Coursera, and industry blogs. 9. How do you ensure alignment across cross-functional teams in high-stakes projects? At the National University of Columbia, I led teams consisting of IT professionals, educators, designers, and analysts. I ensured alignment through a shared vision, clear OKRs, and agile ceremonies. I used tools like Kanban boards and Gantt charts and maintained ongoing stakeholder engagement to synchronize expectations and track progress throughout the lifecycle. 10. Tell me about a time you managed a project with high levels of uncertainty or innovation. While leading a digital transformation project at Meridian Group, we were building a product with no comparable benchmarks. To address this uncertainty, I implemented Scrum, established close feedback loops with stakeholders, and maintained a risk register to flag and respond to emerging threats. We successfully delivered a functional MVP on time despite early ambiguity. 11. How do you approach conflict resolution within agile teams? As a certified Agile coach, I treat conflict as a growth opportunity. In a project at Noble Corporation, I facilitated a conflict resolution workshop that allowed the team to express concerns, align on communication protocols, and rebuild trust. As a result, collaboration and velocity improved significantly in subsequent sprints. 12. Describe your experience with budget management and financial traceability. At Noble Corporation, I managed the annual budget for communication and IT projects. I used Excel and Power BI dashboards to track expenses, ensure transparency, and calculate ROI. Budget execution was aligned with project milestones and stakeholder reports to maintain financial discipline. 13. How do you define and measure project success? Project success is defined collaboratively with stakeholders and measured using delivery metrics, velocity, burn down, roadmap adherence, business KPIs, engagement, ROI, satisfaction metrics, e.g., surveys, reviews. At the university, I implemented a feedback loop combining user surveys with Jira dashboards to evaluate both qualitative and quantitative performance. 14. How do you manage scope changes during a project? I manage scope changes through formal change request processes in Jira, paired with stakeholder impact reviews. I evaluate the effect on timelines, costs, and resources, and prioritize changes via backlog refinement. At Meridian Group, this helped us remain flexible without succumbing to scope creep. 15. How do you integrate technology trends into your projects? I dedicate weekly time to learning through Coursera, Udemy, and professional networks. For example, I recently completed a game QA tester course and applied testing principles to improve risk mitigation strategies for a new AI-based feature. I continuously adapt and apply new knowledge directly to real-world projects. 16. How do you manage the lifecycle of a software product? I manage the software product lifecycle across the following phases: discovery and requirements, collaborate with stakeholders to identify user needs and define the product vision, planning and prioritization, refine and prioritize the product backlog based on value, risk, and feasibility. Design and development, lead iterative development cycles using Scrum to deliver working increments. Testing and QA, implement manual and automated tests to ensure performance and reliability. Release and monitoring, oversee product rollout and monitor key metrics like adoption and user feedback. Maintenance and evolution, gather post-release data to plan enhancements, bug fixes, or new features. This structure ensures continuous delivery of value and effective product scaling. 17. How do you apply design thinking in projects? I use design thinking primarily during the discovery and ideation phases. The process includes empathize, conduct user interviews, observations, and surveys to identify real needs, define, synthesize insights to articulate a clear problem statement, ideate, facilitate creative brainstorming, e.g., Crazy Eights, Scamper, to explore solutions. Prototype, rapidly develop mock-ups or interactive prototypes for user testing. Test, collect user feedback, refine ideas, and validate assumptions before investing in development. This approach ensures that user experience is central to decision-making and drives innovation. 18. What is the life cycle of an AI-based product? The AI product lifecycle includes both traditional software steps and data model-specific stages. Problem framing, define the business need as a solvable AI use case. Data collection and preparation, gather, clean, and label data for model training. Model development, collaborate with data scientists to train and validate models using metrics like accuracy, recall, or F1 score. Evaluation and bias detection, evaluate for fairness, performance, and unintended bias. Deployment and integration, implement the model into the existing system architecture. Monitoring and retraining, continuously monitor model performance, e.g., data drift, and retrain as necessary. In a recent AI project, I worked closely with data engineers and ML teams to deploy a recommendation engine with continuous feedback and retraining cycles via MLOps. 19. How do you apply and manage the Scrum process? Scrum is my preferred framework for managing agile teams. I ensure all roles and events are in place. Roles, Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Development Team clearly defined. Ceremonies, sprint planning, set clear goals and priorities. Daily stand-ups, identify blockers and align progress. Sprint reviews, demo progress and collect feedback. Retrospectives, drive continuous improvement. Artifacts, product, backlog, well-defined and prioritized collaboratively. Sprint backlog, maintained in Jira with task-level clarity. Increment, delivered every sprint, always potentially shippable. Scrum provides rhythm, visibility and flexibility, critical for high-performing agile teams.